You seem awfully sure of yourself, miss.
Because we saw them with our own eyes. 2 in the Corel and Gungaga reactors. They were loud and huge.
A fascinating account, were it true. However, such grand delusions could be a sign of Mako poisoning. Do see a doctor.
Excuse me?
Oh. Yes. That would do them some good. Judging from everything you've said, the 3 of you are unfamiliar with basic planetology. But it is never too late to learn. Please, come with me.
Be upon you.
Now, would anyone else like to share their story with the group?
So, my parents are no longer with us. Here, that is. But I believe they're still out there, on another plane. I've been reading a bunch of theories about this alternate world in the hope of going there someday. And over the course of my studies, I stumbled across a fascinating theory. It addressed the issue of what the life stream is, arguing that spiritual energy is actually a manifestation of our knowledge and memories. Like I said, it's a fascinating theory, but it's incomplete. What about our hopes and dreams? We remember those, don't we? So what if spiritual energy doesn't distinguish between our real, lived memories and the unrealized desires buried deep in our hearts? What if coming into contact with that energy allowed us to peer through the looking glass, so to speak? It's just an idea, but I hope to find the truth someday.
Well, isn't that splendid?
Blessings of the planet be upon you.
And may the bounty of the planet's knowledge be with you forevermore. Now then, would anyone else like to share their story? Don't be shy. Every contribution is welcome.
That has literally got to be the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Once you die, that's that.
Why do you think that?
I just do. I believe in anything else until I see some actual proof.
But does it actually fade away? I mean, what if it doesn't? What if it just returns to the life stream in a different form? Is that possible?
A novel theory, suggestive of a lack of understanding. However, that can be overcome with time and education.
I had the pleasure of talking to a mentor. Said it was presumptuous of me to think I could save the planet. She decides her own fate, you see. As rain cleanses the skies, so too does she cleanse herself with filth. So what? We sit here and theorize while the planet rinses and repeats?
What do you want to do?
Not nothing, that's for damn sure. At the same time, though, I don't know if fighting's the answer anymore. Maybe it's time for some good old-fashioned introspection.
A malevolent energy descended upon that life spring. Never in all my years of planetological research have I ever seen such a disturbing phenomenon. You, however, appeared unfazed by what you witnessed.
Yeah.
You needn't explain, Nanaki. Indeed, it may be best that you do not. The experiences of others may skew our own perception of the truth. For the time being, quiet observation is key to unraveling this mystery. This is only the beginning.
A shooting star!
Planetology is not simply the study of the cosmos and the celestial bodies that dwell in it. Rather, it is a quest to comprehend the cyclical nature of life. Behold, the planet we call home. It was from its soil, so teeming with life, that mankind was born. And like all living things, man is fated to die. So, what happens next? The body withers and returns to the planet. But what of the mind, the spirit, the soul? Much like its former vessel, it too returns whence it came. To the great river where all intertwine and circle the planet without end. A cycle of continuous convergence and divergence. The ceaseless ebb and flow that is the life stream. An apt name, though it is as much a reservoir as it is a stream, being the sum of the planet's spiritual energy. It is the very essence of our star, the blood coursing through its planetary veins. And if ever that essence were to be entirely depleted, of course, these are but basic principles of planetology.
So you're saying that Mako is spiritual energy, which we're using up?
Just so. Siphoned from the planet and processed for industry, that energy can no longer fulfill its true purpose. It is fated to fuel man's machinery, then fade away.
Okay.
Now then, who would like to speak next?
I lost my husband back in the war with Wutai. In spite of all that pain and suffering, the world looks like it's on the brink of violence again. Why do people always have to repeat the mistakes of the past? Humanity has had such a long history, and so many chances to learn how futile war and conflict are. Nobody knows that better than those we've lost. Those who have returned to the planet and rejoined the life stream. If only we would stop and listen to what they have to say, everyone still fighting would realize what war really is. Empty and meaningless. When we close our hearts to the voice of the planet. When we refuse to let its words fill our souls with love. That's when we become our own worst enemy. Blessings of the planet be upon you.
A wonderful story.
Blessings of the planet be upon you.
It's me. The wind, that was you, wasn't it? Hello in there.
What?
We've arrived.
For as long as I can remember, I wanted to return to the planet. In my waking moments and in my dreams, these thoughts were always with me. I felt as though no one truly loved me, and never would. That there was no place for me with others. Only with her. My parents tried to understand, but They couldn't. That's why they brought me to Cosmo Canyon. But as I lived here and learned more about planetology, my view on things started to change. I realized that when I do return, the only thing I can take with me are my memories. And if I want to be happy and at peace when I'm one with her, I need to live a full life. Experience as much as I can. I want to learn, see, and do more. Enjoy everything the world has to offer. And I owe this new perspective to everyone here. Blessings of the planet be upon you all.
A wonderful story.
What about you, miss? You must have a story to share. Please.
Me? Okay. Where to begin? I fell into the life stream. I don't have words to describe it, except beautiful, maybe? It was a lot to take in. Feelings of kindness washed over me. Long-forgotten memories came flooding back. It was a warm, comforting place. But there was also conflict. A war between the planet and its enemies. And we can't let them win. We need the planet, and it needs us. We have to rise up, fight back, defend it from this terrible threat. Thing is, I don't know how to do any of that. And I hoped you might have the answer. I'm not criticizing planetology or anything, and I'm not trying to scare anybody either. I just... You know... Never mind. This is all coming out wrong.
Please, do not be discouraged. Should you ever wish to try again, we would be more than happy to listen. What matters is that you keep challenging your beliefs. Stop doing that, and the answers will forever elude you.
I had this dream. Saw friends I lost. My mom, too. They were crying, in pain. When I woke up, I quit the company, started studying planetology. That dream opened my eyes to what Shinra was doing. Quitting was the best thing I ever did. It was the right thing to do, for the people I loved. Blessings of the planet upon you.
A wonderful story.
Blessings of the planet upon you.
Very well. Let us have our next speaker share their words with us.
Life springs are founts of Mako, whose locations are dictated by the life stream's ever-changing flow. Yet in all my years, never have I seen a once thriving spring wither in so short a time. While still just a theory, given all I have witnessed, I believe the planet is changing on an unprecedented scale.
Biggs! It's up to us to find our own purpose. I mean, who says it's gotta be one way? Everyone's sitting back, acting like the world's doomed, but the future's not set in stone. We're not powerless. So long as we don't lose sight of what's important. You know, what matters most of all when the going gets tough.
We'd been trying for so long to have a child, but nothing seemed to be working. We'd gone through every treatment under the sun. It was tough. After years, we started to wonder if something else was going on. Like, maybe we'd been cut off from the planet, from its energy.
But then we realized that there were other ways to nurture life, besides raising a family. We could plant trees, grow crops, or even help children who had lost their parents. All life returns to the planet and is reborn eventually. We could still contribute to the cycle, just not in the way we'd planned. That's why we decided to move here and start fresh, to have an impact.
Blessings of the planet upon you.
Blessings of the planet upon you.
A wonderful story.
In the grand scheme of both the planet and the life stream, the lives of us mortals and the sublunary parts we play are undeniably inconsequential. For our world is the accumulation of trillions of souls, an assemblage of all life that ever was and will ever be. But that is far too reductive a way to view the cycle which sustains us. We are, after all, a part of the planet, and the planet is a part of us, too. We mustn't forget that even the smallest of ripples can gather the strength to become the greatest of waves. It is thus incumbent upon us to do all we can in the time we are allotted, to not die a ripple. I endeavor to do just that. I will continue to work to uncover the planet's secrets, and if I find anything, I will let you know.
All right, just try not to overdo it. For me?
Oh. Now who could this be? Why...
Busted. Yeah, mine too. What's that about anyway?
Good question.
These days, every time I sleep, I dream about all the things I wish I'd done differently.
I used to work for Shinra, up until a few years ago. Was a maintenance guy in a reactor. It's a dangerous job. Costs a lot of people their health. Cost me mine. I passed out on the job. Mako poisoning. But while I was unconscious, I had this dream. Saw friends I lost. My mom, too. They were crying, in pain. When I woke up, I quit the company, started studying planetology. That dream opened my eyes to what Shinra was doing. Quitting was the best thing I ever did. It was the right thing to do, for the people I loved. Blessings of the planet upon you.
A wonderful story.
Forgive me. You'll need a key. It slipped my mind.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be at home.
There's no need to make such a fuss. I simply wish to see this with my own eyes. My. Over 7,000. This is an unprecedented level of activity. Doubtless proof that the flow of the life stream has shifted in some manner or another. The question is, was this shift natural, or was it the product of an external force? A question for another... Perhaps I am getting too old for this.
My point exactly.
I learned far more than I anticipated today. Though I harbored doubts, I now concede that you were right. Something is happening to the planet. Many questions remain, but I can share with you some answers. I see. But it's still too soon to draw any conclusions. Emphatic warnings. I dismissed them outright. No more than the ravings of misguided youths. When you've lived as long as I have, you start to believe you've seen it all, that no surprises remain. But I realize now how very foolish I have been. The eyes that I thought saw the world clearly have grown blind to new possibilities.
But...
I would hate to impede your progress any further. I bid you leave, Nanaki, before, like me, you become inured to your own ignorance. With sharper eyes and keener ears, go forth and in my stead seek the great truths of our world.
Whispers?
Oh, we have been graced by curious guests.
Hey, I was wondering, do you believe in fate? That something out there controls our future?
Oh, fate is a salve we use to soothe the sting of disappointment. We are the masters of our lives, Nanaki. Would you not agree, Cloud?
Yeah, sure.
Man, I can't wait to see what they've got planned.
Some say we're like grains of sand on the beach of the universe. Fatalist idiots. Spend my whole life trying to prove them wrong. But sitting here, looking up at the sky, you can't help feeling pretty minuscule.
Man, I can't wait to see what they've got planned.